que ahora los títulos de campeón mundial no importan, que no tienen sustancia, que no pesan. ¿Tú qué opinas de eso?
No, porque están jodidos.
¿Tú viste el fin de semana la pelea de Ryan Garcia?
No, yo no veo pendejadas.
¿Tú qué opinas de Ryan?
Muy bien, es buen amigo, ¿me entiendes? Me cayó muy bien.
What about Devin? Devin has all the belts.
No, but it doesn't matter, man. You guys put so much emphasis on these bouts, man. Let them go. They don't mean shit. Bouts don't mean shit nowadays. All that matters is
Ryan.
about if I beat Devin,
Yeah.
they're gonna say go fight Tank. But if I beat Tank, they can't say shit.
Well, they're still tight. I mean, do you care?
Nah,
I
man.
understand your position
I
about
don't
the
care.
belt.
So
Hold on.
I wouldn't be proud to say I'm undisputed if I beat Cambosis. I'm not gonna be proud of that. These bouts have no substance. It's like wearing a chain, but it's not heavy. It's not real. These bouts have no substance. None of that means anything. All that matters is you beat the guy who's the man and who everybody thinks you can't beat, and then you make a bunch of money. The money lasts. The bouts don't mean nothing.
So Hall of Fame doesn't mean anything.
Over
Hall
the
of Fame.
people.
It's about fighting the guys. But we believe Devin Haney is one of those guys. He's your nemesis from the amateurs.
I'm gonna beat his ass. Don't get that wrong.
A few moments ago.
I kind of want to get the titles, either Cambosis or Lomachenko. Whoever got the bouts, to be honest, I'm just expressing what I would want.
I mean, I would love that opportunity to fight.
I hope you get it. How about this?
Hopefully
Tank
he wants it.
Well, talk to him.
Come on. He fought a vacant title with Matthew Haskins. That's just the truth. And I'm here, I just have a lot of good people in my division. I can't pick a Matthew Haddon and become a champion. I have to fight great fighters. It is what it is.
Toughest challenge would be, I think, against Devin Haney.
A few moments later.
I could even go around and beat up Cambosis if I want. Stop Cambosis.
So the Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, social media, undisputed champion, Ryan Garcia, he revealed to the public that he has no interest of becoming a world champion. Ryan said he don't care about the belts. Apparently, Ryan only cares about the Instagram belt, the Twitter belt, the TikTok belt, and the YouTube title. But when it comes to the undisputed championship title, the one Devin Haney has, he said, quote, "That don't mean shit. Let him go." End of the quote. So according to Ryan, Pernell Whitaker undisputed title doesn't mean shit. Muhammad Ali, the greatest, undisputed title doesn't mean shit. The baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson, undisputed title, along with Sugar Ray Robinson, all of the way to Bernard Hopkins. All of them undisputed titles doesn't mean shit according to Ryan. In other words, Ryan pretty much trashed the history of the sport of boxing. All of the undisputed champions from the Jack Johnson days to this day. He believes them titles and them accomplishments mean nothing. Money and one of his TikTok dances mean more. Or maybe one of them fake WBO, WBC belts that he stay flexing with on his social media mean more than the real undisputed titles that all of these legendary fighters have won throughout the history of the best fighting the best in the sport of boxing. That's how you really make the real money, when the best actually fights the best. But today you have Ryan who clout chase calling out the best, then ducks the best in order to fight tomato cans. If Ryan wanted to make some real money, he would have had fought Devin Haney. That's how you make the big money, by fighting the actual big names, the Devin Haneys, the Gervontas. But instead, Ryan ends up trolling them guys and clout chasing, then receives an anxiety attack in the process. Ryan want to talk money, but he's the least paid fighter out of Devin Haney and Gervonta. It's not even close. Ryan paydays are chump change compared to Devin Haney's. Yep, that's a fact. However, you have Ryan over here talking about money while he's ducking his biggest paydays. See, Ryan continues to trash the belts in boxing because he don't have the cojones to fight Devin Haney for them, not because he don't want them. Remember, this is the same guy that does interviews while wearing fake belts in order to fool the casual boxing fans that follow him. He also posts wearing fake belts on Instagram to act like he a champion in order to fool the casual fans that follow him. You peep the pattern. He want to be a champion, but doesn't have the cojones to do it. So he resorts to hating on the undisputed champion Devin Haney, who's living Ryan Garcia's dream. In all reality, the only belts that don't mean shit is the fake belts that Ryan Garcia be wearing. He needs to get rid of them and take his own advice. Furthermore, Ryan said, if I became undisputed beating Kambosos, then I wouldn't be proud. Now, first of all, Ryan said that he won't even be proud of beating Kambosos to become undisputed, but ironically, he's still calling out Kambosos till this day.
I wouldn't be proud to say I'm undisputed if I beat Kambosos. I'm not going to be proud of that.
A few moments later.
Told you, I'm saving Devin. I know when to beat him. It's not that I can't beat him right now. I'm letting that one simmer. He's not big enough yet. I could even go around and beat up Kambosos if I want.
Now, mind you, Kambosos is literally coming off a loss to Devin Haney, where Devin Haney beat him every single minute of every single round. But ironically, Ryan doesn't want to fight the winner who just became undisputed, who beat Kambosos. Absolutely not. Ryan want to fight the loser in Kambosos. Now, wait a minute. Why is Ryan calling out Kambosos instead of Devin Haney? That makes no sense whatsoever. Well, Ryan said he's saving Devin Haney. Translation, he's saving himself from Devin Haney. Ryan already revealed in the past that Devin Haney is the most difficult, but we're going to get into that later. Second of all, Ryan already told on himself when he revealed that I don't have the luxury to fight a Matthew Hatton to become a champion. I have to fight real challengers, which clearly Ryan is not ready for and will never be ready for because he's already 24 years old. Remember, Devin Haney called out Lomachenko and stripped him of his WBC title when he was only 20 years old. So it's not necessarily about not wanting the belts, but more so, who's holding the belts? See, Ryan will fight a Matthew Hatton to become a world champion, but he won't fight a Devin Haney to become a world champion because he knows he can't beat Devin Haney.
He fought a vacant title with Matthew Hatton. That's just the truth. And I'm here, I just have a lot of good people in my division. I can't pick a Matthew Hatton and become a champion. I have to fight great fighters. It is what it is.
In other words, we all know if Matthew Hatton, the fighter who wasn't even ranked that Canelo fought, was the undisputed champion at the lightweight division, we all could agree, including Ryan, that he would have had fought Matthew Hatton in a heartbeat, and the belts would have been the only thing that mattered. Third of all, Ryan said if he can't fight Gervonta next, then he would like to fight Teofimo Lopez next, which makes no sense whatsoever because Teo is coming off a loss to Kambosos. And we're not just talking about a regular loss, but a loss in a destructional fashion. How you want to fight Teofimo Lopez and shit on Kambosos, who Kambosos just completely wiped out and destroyed? Again, Ryan could try to shit on Kambosos all he wants, but that doesn't change the fact that Ryan was begging to fight Kambosos. He called out George Kambosos on multiple occasions. However, Ryan wanted a tune-up fight, and he wasn't willing to travel overseas like Devin Haney to fight Kambosos in his own soil. But he wanted to turn around and trash Devin Haney for doing something that he wasn't willing to do. Kambosos was an undefeated unified champion in his prime. Kambosos beat the man who beat the man who beat the man. Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez, who beat Lomachenko. So hate it or love it, Kambosos is more of a champion than Ryan Garcia ever was. Ryan is the man who ducked the man who ducked the man who ducked the man. He's the biggest duck and troll in boxing. So I really want to know, why did the undisputed social media champion Ryan Garcia desperately kept begging Kambosos to fight him at his own terms after a tune-up in the United States and not Australia? But he's not keeping the same energy when it comes to Devin Haney. He doesn't want to fight Devin, not even in Mexico. In fact, Devin Haney is probably more Mexican than Ryan. I'm telling you guys, this man has no cojones or any pride. Respectfully, he's missing these substances. That's why he doesn't call out Devin Haney the way he was calling out Kambosos. In fact, it's the contrary. He's even hiding from Devin Haney, when Devin Haney has everything to lose and pretty much nothing to gain. What is Devin Haney gonna gain? The social media undisputed belt? What is that gonna do? Devin Haney is already the first undisputed lightweight champion in the 4 belts era, and the last undisputed champion since Pernell Whitaker, which is something that hasn't been done for over 30 years. Devin Haney's name is printed next to an all-time great, Pernell Whitaker. Then Barack brought up a great point. Devin Haney is one of the Fabulous Four. He's one of these popular fighters that you can make all of this money with. So don't you want to fight him for the fact that he's your rival? That's when Ryan said, yeah, of course. I'm turned up. I'm gonna whip his ass. Like, what? How you gonna whoop his ass if you're not willing to get in the ring with him? If you don't have the cojones to get in the ring with him? So the money excuse is debunked because Devin Haney makes more money than you. The accomplishment debate Ryan brought up a couple years ago is not even a debate, since Devin Haney is the undisputed champion at the lightweight division. He's the king at the lightweight division. And he's 10 times more accomplished than Ryan Garcia, because the same fighters that Ryan ducked, Devin Haney fought. From Linares to JoJo. And if you don't want to fight him for the belts, that's fine. Then fight him for the money and the fact that he's your rival. Therefore, Ryan ran out of excuses to why he continues to duck Devin Haney. The worst weapon in the world is a microphone and a camera. Word to my man Dante. And Ryan is finding that out the hard way while he's capping during the social media era. See, Ryan already told the truth years ago when he was asked about Devin Haney. He said, I'm saving Devin Haney for last because he's my toughest opponent. He's the toughest link. On the other hand, Devin Haney said the contrary. Devin Haney said on split decision, Ryan is the weakest link. That's why everyone wants to fight him, because they believe he's the weakest link. And we all know Ryan is ducking everybody because he feels the same way. And he ducks Devin Haney the most because Ryan said out of his own mouth that Devin Haney is the toughest link. Now, it doesn't matter how much Ryan lies afterwards because he already told the truth. Like I said before, the strongest weapon, the worst weapon in the world, is a microphone and a camera. Furthermore, Ryan said, if I fight Devin Haney, then they're going to tell me, fight Gervonta. But if I fight Gervonta, then I don't have to fight Devin Haney. Again, Ryan believes Devin Haney is the toughest link. That's why he don't want to fight him. He admitted, because as a fighter, you're supposed to fight both. Devin Haney want to fight both. He want to fight Gervonta, Ryan, Lomachenko, and every single body. That's why he's the A-class boogeyman, even as the undisputed champion. On the other hand, you have the social media champion that haven't accomplished shit. He's saying, listen, if I fight Gervonta, even if I don't become a champion, that's okay. I don't got to do anything else. No, that's not how it works. You're supposed to continue proving yourself until you retire. And the fact that Ryan want to retire at 26, then the clock is ticking. What is he waiting for? Because he's already 24. Nevertheless, the reality is Ryan won't fight Devin Haney or Gervonta because he uses Gervonta to duck Devin Haney, just like he did last year when he was Devin Haney mandatory. He used Gervonta in order to justify why he's ducking Devin Haney as Devin Haney's mandatory. Then he used Manny Pacquiao to duck Gervonta after he lied to Mike Tyson's face, where he promised Tyson he was gonna fight Tank next. He even had Tyson do the pachacha because he was so hyped up that Ryan was gonna fight Gervonta, only for Ryan to pull out of the fight in order to fight Manny Pacquiao. However, after Pacquiao lost his WBA super title at welterweight because he was negotiating with a lightweight in Ryan, that's when Ryan pulled out of the fight with Manny Pacquiao. So again, Ryan uses Tank to duck Devin Haney, then uses Pacquiao to duck Tank, then uses anxiety to duck Pacquiao. This man even petitioned to the WBC not to fight Devin Haney. People keep talking about Ryan anxiety. Ryan only received anxiety after he trolled and clout chased Tank and Devin Haney. See, Ryan thought he mastered the art of ducking. He thought he was fooling the public the whole time, but he ended up getting exposed in the process. A lot of people don't know that Canelo and Ryan fell apart because Canelo didn't support Ryan anxiety mental health. Canelo didn't believe Ryan had mental health, which is why they went their separate ways. Last but not least, Devin Haney gave his reaction to Ryan knocking out Fortuna, where he said that he wasn't impressed because Fortuna is over the hill. He had to fight in a new division, and he already lost to JoJo. So to all of the Ryan Garcia casual fans that act like Ryan just knocked out Tank or something, relax. Ryan only beat Fortuna, and it doesn't count because Ryan fought him after JoJo destroyed Fortuna. Who cares at that point? You get credit for fighting someone coming off a huge win, not coming off a recent huge loss. That's why Fortuna fought like he's only there for a paycheck, since he already got knocked out and recently lost to JoJo. On the other hand, when you fight a fighter coming off a huge win, like Devin Haney did against Kambosos, the unified champion at the time, even though Kambosos got outclassed the entire night, he was still dangerous the entire night. He was still looking to win. However, Fortuna, again, he was only there for a payday, and you can never compare Fortuna to Kambosos because Kambosos was undefeated, never got knocked out before. He was the unified champion that beat Teofimo Lopez, the man who beat the man who beat the man. Neither Ryan nor Fortuna have any wins on their records that come close to Kambosos beating the undefeated unified champion, Teofimo Lopez, who just beat Vasyl Lomachenko in a dominant fashion and knocked out Comey. Last but not least, Devin Haney responded on Twitter to the belts don't matter, where he stated, quote, "Laugh out loud. First, I was the email champion. Now, all of a sudden, belts don't matter no more. Laughing emojis." End of the quote. And ironically, Ryan was one of the people that kept saying, if Devin Haney a champ, I'm a champ. And Dev said, nah, you gotta fight me to become a champ. You my mandatory. That's when Ryan responded by stating, I'm turned up. Let's go. All to turn down the fight. Not later, but I'm talking about during the face-to-face.
The man to your left also carrying a belt, Devin Haney.
Hey, hold up. I need a belt too. If he's a champ, I'm a champ, right?
I'm the champ. I'm the champ, and if he wants a real fight, he can fight me.
I should be champ, right?
You gotta beat me to become champ.
I should be champ, right?
You gotta beat me to become champ.
I'll get to you.
Let's make it happen.
I'll get to you. Let's get that party. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm turned up. I'm turned up right now.
Let me ask you guys, Little bit of a discrepancy between who won what in the amateurs. Devin says he's won all 6 of the matchups against you.
Ryan needs to turn down instead of turn up, since turning up is not doing us anything. More importantly, Devin Haney made a great point. First, they called him an email champion, simply because he was the A-class boogeyman. And now that he's the first, undisputed, and the youngest in the history to do it, now all of a sudden, belts don't matter. It's like Devin Haney, damn if he do, damn if he don't. Even when the champions are ducking him like Lomachenko, when Dev was only 20 years old. Would you guys believe old media some way somehow made up the narrative and blamed Devin Haney on the fact that Lomachenko ducked him? Remember, Devin Haney took Lomachenko lunch money, aka his WBC belt. However, they called the 20 years old Devin Haney, who dared to be great, that won the title the same way Lennox Lewis did, the last undisputed heavyweight champion. They called Devin Haney an email champion simply to justify why all of their favorite fighters were ducking him and to save face for Lomachenko. But then when Devin Haney became undisputed, now belts don't matter. But they mattered when Canelo had him. They mattered when Josh Taylor had him. They mattered when Usyk had him. Usyk became undisputed in a division that no one cares about. And they put Usyk number 6 on the pound-for-pound list just because of that. On the other hand, Devin Haney becomes undisputed in one of the deepest divisions in boxing. However, these same people don't have Devin Haney on the pound-for-pound list, not even on the top 10. By what standards are they making the pound-for-pound list? Apparently, all fighters are not judged equally. There's clearly double standards on the fighters on the coincidental list. They don't have Charlo nor Devin Haney, 2 undisputed African-American fighters from America, on the pound-for-pound list. In addition to that, this is why Devin Haney is the A-class boogeyman, because he's the first undisputed champion in the history of the sport that has no mandatories. Furthermore, when it comes to these belts don't matter bullcrap, just watch. As soon as Devin Haney vacates the belts, then the belts are going to be the only thing that matters. That's when everyone is going to be hunting for the belts. I mean, we all can agree, if Ryan had the belts right now, then the belts are the only thing that's going to matter. Which is why Chavez Sr. dissed Ryan by stating he's effed up in the head for making that comment. One thing for sure and 2 things for certain. Fighters like Ryan Garcia are the cancer to the sport of boxing. They making a mockery of the sport. Fighters that's tearing down the sport like Ryan Garcia really makes you appreciate fighters like Devin Haney, who's uplifting the sport of boxing. Devin Haney is everything that's right about the sport of boxing, while Ryan is everything that's wrong about the sport of boxing. Listen, I'ma tell Ryan exactly what I told Teofimo Lopez. If you can't stop lying, then I can't stop reporting the truth, exposing your lies. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. While doing so, keep in mind, everything I stated in this video, it's a fact, not an opinion. So to all of the Ryan Garcia casual fans, if you guys disagree with anything I said, then point out exactly what I said you guys disagree with. Tell me the time slot. And if you can't, however you're not liking what you're hearing, then you can't handle the truth. The whole absolute truth that your brother Akhi always put it together like puzzle every single time. Subscribe below and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, TV. Peace. And I'm on to the next one.
But I just feel that you and Devin is a super fight. It sells out the Staples Center. You make a fortune. But as I've said in every interview, if you get Tank or you get Pacquiao, I can't argue. If you don't, I think you should consider Devin Haney, personally, because I think it's a massive fight for massive money, and if you believe you can win,
I know.
yeah, but then you should take the fight. If you don't get those other fights. But I respect you
but
for
if
chasing.
I do get it?
Oh, I respect you. And I say 100% that was the right move for you. But if you don't, I would like you to consider Devin Haney.
Okay, I will.
I got Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney, I mean, you see with Nakatani, Lopez had a little bit of trouble with that right hand over the top. I think Devin's even a little bit more craftier, obviously more craftier than Nakatani. I think Devin beats Teofimo. I think Teofimo has a great fight with Tank, but I still feel Tank beats him. I feel Devin beats Tank, and I beat Tank. I beat everybody.
Toughest challenge would be, I think, against Devin Haney.
On all the top lightweights, he makes the less money. You have the most followers, the most everything, but you make the less money. How does that make sense? How are you the money guy? He doesn't have a belt, and he makes the less money. They want to fight you. People want to fight him. With no disrespect, I like Ryan. Me and Ryan, we got a lot of history together, and I like him. But they want to fight you because they feel like you have followers, and you are the weakest link. That's what they feel. I'm not saying that it's true. We don't know who the weakest link is. We got to see. Everybody has to fight each other. But in reality, let's be real. Like, everybody needs to stop sugarcoating it, and let's be real. People want to fight him because they feel like he's the weakest link. Everybody wants to fight him because they feel like he has followers and he's the easiest fight. Let's be real. It's like a hidden secret, but nobody's trying to say it. It's the truth. That is the truth. That is why everybody wants to fight him.